Hello and welcome back to another week of To Tell You the Truth, the podcast by college students for college students discussing sex lives. Sexualized. I always do that when I say sexualized. I'm Ethan.
I'm Hadley, and with us today is our friend Paige.
Hi everyone, like Hadley mentioned, I'm Paige. I'm also a member of SHARE, which is Sexual Health and Reproductive Education, a peer education class at the University of Maine. Thank you guys for having me today.
Of course, thanks for coming. We love it.
And if you haven't already, go ahead and follow our Instagram at _ to tell you the truth. There you'll find links to our YouTube channel, our Spotify, and all of that. So once you find those, follow us on Spotify and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Yeah, we're super excited. Ethan, what are we talking about this week?
Okay, this week we're starting off with female orgasms and squirting.
Ooh.
I will say I had to do a lot of research for this episode because being a gay boy, my expertise in this sex area is lacking. So I researched a little bit. I know Paige and you also researched, but you guys also have way more experience because you are females that orgasm.
All the time.
True.
All the time.
Daily.
At least.
A healthy dose, if you will. Okay. Yeah, and so a big thing is like I talked to some people too, because like a big part of like what I do for research is I talk to college students and I reach out on social media. And a lot of people are asking like, why are you talking about this? Like, why is this important? Because just like we were talking about, I don't know if this episode is out yet, breakup and cheating, how there's a cheating epidemic. There's also an orgasm epidemic, pandemic, if you will. Everyone should be getting their nut. Period. The end. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear the chit-chat, nothing. Everyone should be having an orgasm. I've said it in the first episode. Orgasms make the world go round, people. They make the world go round. And a lot of females, when they're having sex, especially with cis male partners, they're not having an orgasm.
Yeah, Paige, you brought up a great point while we were talking about the research. The statistics, do you remember what that was off the top of your head?
I do. So when asked about their most recent hookup, 91% of men were like, oh, of course I orgasmed. Are you kidding me? When women were asked, only 64% had orgasmed in their last hookup, which like, I'm appalled as a woman.
That's a huge difference. That's like a third. That's like a third less than men, and that's just so crazy to me. I can't believe that.
That's sexism, 100%. That is like He-Man woman hating shit right there. 64% enough. Grow
miserable.
up.
Yeah, I just don't like. Do you guys think that like it's because men don't know how to pleasure a woman and give them an orgasm or get them to orgasm? Or do you think it's just because like people are so after their own orgasm that it like doesn't make a difference?
I think that's a really, really important question, especially because of the fact that when like looking at relationships, we see statistically in hookups that men's orgasms are put first. I know from my personal experience in hookups, it's like whether it's fun or not, you know that the male orgasm is probably going to be the end of the sex that you're having with a male partner.
Yeah, I would agree.
So it's almost like what you're waiting for and pushing for. Like, all right, if we're going to do this, like that's how I know it's going to end. Whereas women, it's like, if it happens, it happens.
Yeah, and I feel like it's kind of like, if you're a woman, it's kind of your partner's responsibility to help you get that nut. Or that orgasm, sorry. I should probably use the PC terms or like the technological terms. No, but it really is because, without that woman, that guy would just be jerking off into his hand. Like, she is helping him achieve an orgasm, so he should help her. And like, I was talking to my friend and she was like, yeah, like there was this guy where he came like 5 seconds in, it was like a pump it, dump it sort of situation. He was like, oh, I'm sorry. And while waiting for him to like get turned back on, he ate her out for an hour until she came.
An hour?
I was like, an hour. She goes, I sat there for an hour just being like, he was down there doing his thing. She's like, I came like 3 times.
Oh, wow.
Are you put a crown on his head? Wow. That is some like because he was like, you know what? I got mine. I want one later. I'll give you a few now. Like, I feel like that's like a huge thing. Like, if you finish before your partner, help your partner out because they helped you out. You got yours. It's time to get theirs, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And I just feel like that's like, it's kind of important because like sex, like, it's not like porn. It's not like that, like on your back, like screaming to high heaven. Like, it's for pleasure. It's for you both to have an orgasm, to have a shared experience. And I think that some people forget that, you know, sex is supposed to feel good. You are supposed to have an orgasm every time. You're not just supposed to like be like, yeah, that was like, it felt good for like 10 minutes out of the 35. No, orgasms, people. And okay. And like, while it's all about pleasure and orgasming, why don't we talk about maybe why you're not orgasming and maybe tips, tricks, little tidbits on how to have an orgasm or how to have a better orgasm. I feel like that's huge. Now, again, I do not have a vagina. I do not have much experience with vaginas, but I do know that there is a G spot. I do know that. Am I right?
There is. Yeah, there is a G spot. Congratulations.
I knew that.
But more importantly, honestly, there's a clitoris. Because that is where most women are like really having their orgasms from. And I don't know.
Whenever you say clitoris, there should just be like angels singing in the background.
Yeah, I think, well, a lot of people don't know. Maybe like I should put in like a little, like, if I put my hand up, put like a picture of a clitoris here.
Yeah. Oh.
So that like people know where to find it, because it's like the most important part of a woman being able to have an orgasm.
Mm-hmm.
Paige, do you have anything to add on that idea?
Yeah, I do. So, as Hadley said, it is the most important part, and most women cannot orgasm with just penile and vagina sex. Like, that penis going in and out is not going to do very much.
Yeah, I'm sure. Like, it feels good, but I'm not going to come from it.
You're not going to get there. No. And if anything, it just gets tiresome. Like, why are you still ramming this inside of me? Like, let's make this fun for everyone. And I think for me and for most people, that's where it's your partner's job to know, like, oh, this like hardcore sex is not going to get my partner there. But if I can add in clitoral pleasure or any nipple stimulation, other kinds of stimulation, like anal stimulation, that's where you start to be like, wait, this isn't miserable anymore. I'm actually enjoying it.
Right. Totally agree. And like, oh, go ahead, Ethan. Sorry.
No, I was gonna say like, because when I was talking to people and stuff, it's like, you know, some girls are talking about, they're like, oh, like I'm kind of embarrassed, like I don't want to like emasculate him by like touching my own clit, making him feel like he's not doing it. Well, sister, mister, if he's not doing it, do it yourself. It's a like, you know, what are you like? Why are you gonna sit there and just be like a jackhammered, like dry concrete, and you're not gonna?
I could have said that better myself. Jackhammer.
Jackhammer. Like, hello, this isn't a construction site. This is my pissoir. This is my gentle flower and my delicate rose.
And even if you are worried about like doing it yourself, use that as an opportunity to be like, oh no, like grab his hand and be like, oh no, you should do this instead, and like make it something like flirty / a teachable moment, because then he'll know what to do for the next time you guys have sex, or if it's just a hookup for the next person you have sex with. And girls helping girls by teaching all men where the clit is huge, because all the women down the line, he will finally know where the clit is. So
And you will be thanked. You will be thanked.
Well, and like that's the thing, like, you know, you can make like the simplest stuff so sexy because like say you are just touching yourself and he's like, why are you doing that? You're like, oh babe, like you're just so hot, like I just want to touch myself. Like, are you kidding me? A guy like, oh woo god, his eyes are gonna pop out of his skull. Like, just literally make it just sexy and fun because even if you're like, oh, I'm just like touching myself, oh, like, come on, they're like, no man's gonna be like, oh, I don't like that. Stop.
My awooga moment is a nice gentleman or a woman, either whoever's there. How does this feel? Does that feel good? Do you like this here? That is a really important part as a partner of, I mean, whoever you're having sex with, asking like, do you like this? Do you like that? It's communication with your partner. And without communication, like, how are you going to get across what you desire, what you like? That's going to make it more comfortable to ask for more in the future, whether it comes to different kinks or like that is the only way you're going to feel comfortable talking about sex is if you start with the little stuff. Oh, that doesn't feel good. Oh, that feels really good. Making sure that your partner knows, and it's up to the other partner to be willing to learn.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's such a good point. I was
You don't
just
even
saying that's a good point.
Go. We're a little steamrolling today.
We're all just so excited about coming that we can't help ourselves.
Again, once we reach 500 subscribers, I'm getting orgasm tattooed across my forehead. I'll do it. I swear to God.
I love it.
What I was saying is like, even like if you don't want to be like all sexy about it, if like you're like just a little uncomfortable, just be like, oh yeah, like it really turns me on. Like when this happens, or like this is how it should be. Just even communicating that to your partner, because I know a lot of times, like with guys, I was in a fraternity. And like when I talk to them about sex, they're like the hottest thing is like when I know I'm making her feel good. Is like when I can like, she's like, yeah, like I love that. Like to them, like they want to, not all, but a lot want to, like they get off on the pleasure. So just communicate that, be like, oh no, put your hand here, you know, go in from this angle, do X, Y, and Z, you know?
Yeah, and I think a huge part of that is knowing yourself and knowing your own body. And if you don't know what feels good to yourself, then you're not going to be able to express that to a partner or multiple partners. So like, start masturbating.
I mean, not to
your own clit.
Statistic, but statistically, a woman who does know how to make herself orgasm is going to orgasm more regularly with a partner. So I mean, I'll just back you up with that.
And faster too, right, Paige?
Absolutely.
Like in like less than like 5 minutes, you can make yourself come. Where like if you're having sex, someone doesn't really know what they're doing, or if they do and you have a little bit of stage fright, it might take a little bit longer. But if you're masturbating, you can like bang one out in like 2 minutes and call it a day. Not even.
Yeah. I've had times where I've been like, what time is it? It has been less than 2 minutes. And that is fulfilling. Like, where's my partner? Why aren't they knowing how to do that? Why is it only me?
Well, and like,
why should sex be sweaty and hot and take so long?
Right. If it takes me 45 seconds, okay, let's go. Keep it moving. We got things to do.
I have a Target to go to. I have to pick up the kids from swim practice. Got a long laundry list. No, but like another thing is like when like girls can have multiple orgasms too, right? Like multiple like in a row. Because for a guy, it's like one done, wham bam, thank you, ma'am. But for girls, like you guys can just like pop them out like one after the other.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Especially with like different kinds of orgasms, I've learned. You can squirt and you can clitorally orgasm. You can female ejaculate, which I know as I was doing my research does come across like very binary, calling it female ejaculation. So today, like I'm just going to call it ejaculation. Know that I'm referring to women with vaginas when I say it, but are people with vaginas as in general. But there are different opportunities for you to orgasm with different feelings included. So I think that that's really important. Not everybody always does know that.
I didn't know that.
I didn't realize that there was a difference between squirting and ejaculation. And the difference.
What is the difference?
Did know that.
You did know that, Ethan? Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, weirdly enough, because my friend is a chronic oversharer, and God bless her for it. She was like, "Yeah, I've squirted and ejaculated," and I'm like, "Miss Girl, like what?" And she's like, "Yeah,
what
it's
is
different."
The difference?
So what it comes down to is where the fluid is coming from. And when you're like doing your stereotypical squirting, which is what you'll see in like a lot of porn, is more regular, and it's a lot of urine and stuff from the bladder. But I have to check exactly how to pronounce it. I think it's the skein gland, which secretes a more milky and thicker ejaculation, more similar to the male ejaculation. So that is just the difference between different like fluids that can come out of you, completely separate than just like your body shivering orgasm.
Interesting. Yeah. I feel like I've taken so many sex ed classes and I just had no idea.
I didn't know that until I did this for this. So I agree.
That's crazy.
WebMD. Kid you not. WebMD.
We love her.
Oh, that's funny. I know. Well, because like the way my friend described it is like it literally looks like someone like came inside of her. Like it was like it looks like sperm. It's like that same kind of consistency. But she's like, I was masturbating, and I was like, is this like a 3-day-old? Like last time I hooked up with someone, did it just like come out? And she had to Google it, and she was like, no, like I had an orgasm where I ejaculated. And like Paige said, it's not like squirting, where like squirting usually like kind of like the name says.
You look like a hose.
Yeah, like I was gonna say like a Super Soaker, Nerf water gun, summer 2008 playing tag with your friends type of. No, this is more just kind of like it's kind of like a lazy river. It just kind of leaks out of you. Like discharge. I would say it's kind of like discharge. Not that I know, but
he's like, from my experience.
From my secondary vagina. No. No, just from research and like what I've asked my friends and stuff, and I'm trusting the reliable sources. If I say anything, you guys just say shut up, penis man. Like literally
just like that?
Yeah, no, say like shut up, you don't have a vagina. I'll be like, yep, okay.
Another thing that I wanted to like bring up is how awkward it can be when you squirt for the first time. Because I know from experience that I lived multiple like sexual years of my life never doing that, ever, never having someone even really try. And then in one of my more recent relationships, I have felt extremely comfortable with myself and my body and what I can do. And I was hooking up, and it was like almost shocking. I literally stopped everything I was doing and was like, can we talk about this? And they were like, oh, that was awesome. Like, I literally love that so much. And I was like, you did? Because I'm not sure that I did. It was a really strange experience, and it's okay not to love it.
Right.
Because I don't think I did. And I'm still coming to terms with that. But it can be a very exciting experience for your partner.
Even if yourself, if you end up really enjoying that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I cannot speak too much on the anal orgasm, unfortunately. But I wish
I can, but not for a female orgasm.
So if anybody does have anything, I'm sure Hadley and Ethan would love some information.
Yes. So we've read about it, and it is a thing. And like squirting is, a lot of it is caused by anal from what I read. Like anal stimulation is a lot because it hits a certain part of the vagina from the backside, which causes the urinary tract, wherever it comes from, the urethra, to kind of squirt that liquid out. But none of us really have any experience with female anal orgasms. So if you guys want to write in, obviously everything will be anonymous. Like, please, we'd love to hear your experiences and just like learn more about it. So You know where our socials are. So yeah, please let us know because that's like super interesting that none of us really understand that. I'm sure someone does. And pop off, queen.
Okay. So yeah, basically talking about like the different types of orgasms. Seriously, if you're having trouble orgasming and you know, don't know where to start, clitoral orgasms are like the number one way that a female is going to come. Specifically, like women, especially if you know your body, other women know their body, like women's bodies. So lesbians that are having sex with each other are literally orgasming all the time from clitoral stimulation. All the time. So, you know, get in bed, get a little comfy, and start practicing because that's the way that you're going to know it feels good to you. And it's so easy to come by yourself. And then once you're comfortable there, you'll be able to turn that into coming with a partner. So that's huge.
That way you don't need to fake it anymore because that is not fun for anybody.
Done. We're done. We're not doing that faking. No. Because we
faking orgasms are canceled from this point forward.
Take it from us.
What have we done so far? Promise rings, canceled. Faking orgasms, canceled. It's all canceled. Because if you're not going to have an orgasm, you're going to tell your partner, you're going to go down to Little Clit Town, and you're going to spend an extended stay there at the Hilton Inn. All expenses paid, baby. This is a work event. My passoir is getting worked.
Continental breakfast included.
Ooh.
Oh my god, the waffle maker.
Hey, who wouldn't want to come to breakfast?
The waffle.
No, it's true. Well, did you know that like guys fake orgasms too?
Say that again, Ethan.
Did you know guys fake orgasms too?
I've heard that, but in my life, I feel like that has not been true. For me, at least. I don't know. But I believe it. I'm there. I believe it. Agreed.
Yeah. No, because like it's harder for a guy to do it because, you know, you can kind of tell. There's like that little sticky substance that tells. But this one guy that I knew, he was like, yeah, I was having sex with this girl and I just couldn't do it. And so they were doing it from behind. He spit in his hand and just threw it. And he was just like, oh, I finished.
And as we mentioned before, faking is canceled.
Faking is canceled.
Tell her you need something else. Boy, girl, in between, outside, whoever you are, communicate with your partner. We're not faking it. Because why would we do that in this day and age?
Also, if you're just like, if you're not going to come and you're just not feeling it anymore, then just say that. Don't pretend that you came to end it. Just be comfortable with the fact that, you know, this is a good time. I'm kind of over it. Let's just go back to eating some dinner or whatever. Like, I don't know.
It can be hard to say that though.
It's so
hard, especially if you're in a relationship or this is not the first time you've hooked up with someone and you have been trying. Like, all right, well, I'm going to bend you this way. I'm going to flip you that way. I'm going to touch you this way. And you're still not going to finish. That's truly when you need to be honest.
Yeah.
Because if you're having somebody go every which way, you need to respect your partner too. Tell them, you know what, this isn't working, or I love it and we're going to get there. Let's keep trying.
Yeah, exactly. True. Communication is so big. But when it all comes down to it, you should be having fun, communicating with your partner, and, you know, expressing what feels good and what doesn't, so that you can get better at, you know, reading each other's bodies, and everyone, you know, as Ethan was saying, everyone getting their nut, you know? Like, it's just, that's the whole point of sex.
Let me get right here. Men already have enough audacity without thinking they're making women come more than they already are. We're not going to give them that too. We're not going to you're not like, oh, that was amazing. And then he goes over to Becky's house and she's laying there like a plank. Like, what is this?
I have been the girl before Becky. I have been that girl that let them leave.
Me too.
Don't let them leave.
Not anymore.
Without knowing what
now you're not anymore.
I have been both the girl that let him leave and Becky. And, you know, if we all just stopped faking orgasms, everyone would be having more. So.
All right, folks. We did it. Another episode in the books. Orgasms for everyone. You are not faking it. We're communicating. We're squirting, ejaculating, anally orgasming, clitorally orgasming. There's just such a list. I'm not doing any of it because I don't have a vagina, nor do I have interest in vaginas. But every person with a vagina or who likes vaginas should get on it. And thank you guys so much again for listening. We really appreciate it. Make sure to follow us on Instagram, YouTube, and I almost just said Hulu. It's Spotify. We don't have a Hulu.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're not a TV show yet.
Yes. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you, Paige, for coming on to this episode. We really appreciated your insight on this.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm really glad that I got to talk about something that I'm so passionate about with you two. You guys are awesome. So thank you for having me.
Of course. All right. This has been To Tell You the Truth podcast. I'm Hadley. That was Ethan. This is Paige. And we'll see you next week.
Bye.